Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me. As you can tell, a new background. I just got my bookcase here, so I got all my comics. Glorious, as you can tell. Yeah, no green screen today, and no green screen for a little bit. I've been having trouble recording green screen shit, and it's been very annoying. So I've just decided to stop using it until further notice, so I could fix it all up. So until then, you're just going to see this nice little bookshelf and me sitting on this fucking lawn chair for the foreseeable future. Until then. But yeah, don't worry. Still funny video, still gonna be very edited, so do not think any less of these videos, these new videos that are gonna be coming out. But yeah, it's been a little bit. I've had it uploaded in like a month. To be fair, I wanted to upload weeks ago, but as I said, I've just been having trouble with the green screen, so shit just never happened. And I also deleted the video because it was just bad. Okay, so I wanted to redo a video, talk about what's going on, and also review these two new films that just came out, that being Superman and the Fantastic Four. New superhero films coming out. Superman, very much I like a lot, but I'm also going to talk about the Fantastic Four, the new one, talk about what I like and what I dislike, and what I see in the foreseeable future for these two new films, and their sequels, if they're going to get sequels or whatever, that sort of stuff. Also, I'm just going to give like a channel update, and just tell you what's going to be happening on this channel, what I'm going to be doing. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you want to see, what else you want to see on this channel. Also, by the time you're done, just type the word avocado in the comments so I know that you finished this video. But anyway, let's just get into it, why don't we? First, let's go with Superman. Superman was a pretty fucking good movie. I actually saw that movie like 4 times, I believe. It was just so good. I can't help myself. It was a really good movie. It got me HOPEMAXing to the peak of it, which is insane because Superman didn't really start becoming a favorite character of mine until semi-recently when I rewatched the entirety of Superman the Animated Series. Yeah, I bet that's a deep cut for a lot of you guys. During the 2000s, I wasn't watching Smallville. I was watching Superman the Animated Series. Peak content right there, let me tell you, folks. That shit was awesome. I love Superman the Animated Series. It was genuinely amazing. It wasn't as good as Batman, but it was damn near close. And I rewatched it like a couple years ago, and that really reconfirmed my love for Superman. So seeing this movie coming out, seeing it, that seems like almost like an inspiration from this cartoon. I was pretty excited, and my excitement paid off because it's pretty good. But, obviously, it was going to be good. It was James Gunn writing and directed the films. He wrote and directed all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy films and also created the Suicide Squad movie. So, obviously, it was going to be fucking peak. And it was. It was totally peak. By the way, I'm going to probably spoil a lot of this movie because I just want to talk about it, give my thoughts on it, blah, 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 blah. All that good shit. But, yeah, it's just really fucking good. What can I say? It's actually amazing. It's superior to Man of Steel, I'll tell you that for a fact. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Man of Steel. I enjoyed it when it came out, and looking back at it, there's some cool aspects. I really like Zack Snyder's the way he shoots his films, the way his films look. I know a lot of people don't like the grainy sort of dark style to it, but personally I think it gives it personality, and I've always sort of enjoyed that sort of handheld look. To a lot of people, it makes people nauseous, but as someone who moves around a lot, I just personally dig it. But it's just like the way he portrays Superman and the writing is just it isn't for me. Like, you could make a darker, more serious Superman story, but it has to be good. And for Man of Steel, it was cool, but it felt like what a 14-year-old would want, Superman would to be in the modern day, not like an actual adult film, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't fucking know. Let me get into the good Superman. So anyway, Superman in this film, he's pretty fucking cool, played by David Cornsweet, really good actor, portrayed him impeccably, and it's just really good. I like his characterization. I like that he's basically just this big ball of sunshine. He's just the nicest guy in the room. He cares very deeply for every living being ever. And in this film, we find out that, he's stopped a war between 2 countries that I don't really want to name. Not because I can't name them, but because, well, I can't name them, actually. I really just cannot pronounce these words for some reason. I think it's like Janhamper or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I forgot them anyways. It doesn't matter. But anyways, he stopped the war between these two countries because one country was obviously genociding the other country. Who? What would you think of that? It sounds very, very of the times, if you know what I mean. And obviously he stopped it because he's the goodest person ever. And apparently that country didn't like that, so they sent this guy called the Hammer of Boravia. I believe that's what the other country is called. Boravia, yeah. They fought. Superman loses. He goes to his little home in the Arctic Circle, gets healed up, goes back to the fight, and then fucking loses again. It was not a good day for him, obviously. We also get this cool, like, little world-building moment with these, like, test credits saying that, 300 years ago, the first metahumans appeared. Then, 30 years ago, Superman appeared. Well, Superman came to Earth from Krypton. And then, 30 years ago, he became Superman and blah, 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 blah. Very cool, very quick way of showing how this world works and whatnot. And what are metahumans and all that good stuff that we don't really need to make a million movies about. We know who Superman is. We know what the DC universe is. We don't need to go deep into, like, the beginnings of this universe over and over again like we've seen before, millions of times before. And I'm glad we did that. I'm very much glad we did that because, personally, for me, I want Superman to do Superman shit at the beginning. I don't want to wait 30 minutes of his, like, fucking film time, just him, like, thinking, who am I? Where am I? What do I do? These powers are crazy, Him just becoming Superman right away, that's all I need, and they did it right. They did it very good and very fast, and I like that a lot. They achieved a lot in a little time, and that's very good if you ask me. But anyway, yeah, so Superman gets his ass handed to him by the Hammer Boravia, who apparently is controlled by Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult. And let me tell you, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, he's a grade A hater. That guy is on fucking reverse Flash levels of hating. This guy decided to start a war between two countries just so he could kill Superman. That is how far he is going, just so he could just hate on this guy. It's absolutely fucking insane, and I love it. He's also the guy who gives, like, a lot of exposition, and a lot of people don't like the exposition in this movie. I can understand why, but personally, I like it when he's the one, doing the exposition, because he feels like a Saturday morning cartoon villain, and I like that a lot. I like that when my villains act like villains, and typically, what villains do is they exposit a lot of the shit. And I find that very charming, personally, especially when Nicholas Hoult is doing it, because he does it in this sort of, like, weird, high-pitched, sort of very funny voice. And he just sounds pissed off all the time when he does it, too. So it's really good. Nicholas Hoult's performance is just fucking amazing. And as I said, Lex Luthor, that guy's a fucking hater. Bro, at the end of the film, he was nearly crying just how much out of just sheer hatred for Superman. Bro was on the verge of tears because of how much he hated Superman. It's absolutely fucking insane how much you can hate one guy that it makes you want to cry because you're just so fucking frustrated that you just want to fucking kill that guy. It's just, Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down. It ain't that serious, dog. But yeah, he plays a fantastic Lex, and he's been the one, like, doing the whole countries fighting each other, creating the Hammer Boravia, which apparently is actually a clone of Superman, disguised in a giant metal tin can, who's also has a black mask on. That must be, like, super hot in there. That guy must smell. But yeah, basically, Superman lost to a version of himself. That's another thing people like to talk about. Superman in this movie is, like, super fucking weak, but, like, no. Every single fight he's gotten into, a one-on-one fight, he's usually either teamed up on or he's fighting a literal copy of himself. So yeah, he's not literally going to win a fight that's against himself. That's also against Lex Luthor, who's apparently been studying him for 3 years and knows all of his fight moves. Like, he's got the fucking Sharingan or something like that, and, like, puts down, like, numbers in the computer and sends it to, like, Ultraman. That's how he beats Superman, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, of course, he's not going to win that fight because he's fighting a superior version of himself. So what do you expect? Also, the other fights, like, he fought a kaiju in this film, and for the most part, he was winning against a kaiju. The entire point of the fight was that he was just trying to get everybody out of the way and try to figure out a way to get the kaiju to not kill anybody, through, like, stepping over them and stuff. Like, he was more concerned with saving people than actually killing the kaiju, up until the Justice Gang came in. Also, there's a Justice King, which is like a proto-Justice League. It's got Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, by the way, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl. Guy Gardner might be the funniest character in this fucking film. He's hilarious. I love the performance by the actor. I forgot his name. I'm probably just gonna put it down here somewhere. But he was pretty good. Fucking Mr. Terrific. That guy was an actual fucking scene stealer. Like, he was probably the best. He was the coldest motherfucker in the room. Like, what he did was absolutely fucking insane. Like, there was this one fight scene, which is probably the best fight scene in the entire film. And it's just this one-oneer, which is like, you know, doing like this weird like Chris Nolan like circling thing where you can see all the fighting happen. It's really fucking cool. I'll probably put it here somewhere, but like, it's really cool. It's one of the best fight scenes in the film. And he's a real brother, you know. He really helps out Superman the entire film, and he's the one who like shuts down the whole like black hole alternate dimension thing, which we will get to later. Hawkgirl is also in this movie. She kills the Moravia's leader, and that's about it. She's kind of just there. Nothing wrong with the actress. I think she did pretty fine. Dora was pretty good as the role of Hawkgirl. She's pretty hot, not gonna lie. I've seen all over Reddit just this face right here, and everybody just being like, damn, she could fucking throw me off a roof. And I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, Latinas just be kicking it. They just be feeling different, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, she was also pretty good. But, like, the real standout was Mr. Terrific. Eddie Gathetti, I think that's how I pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. He was fucking amazing as Mr. Terrific. Really funny and dry sort of way. I just really love his character. Let me just go by all the other characters. Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan. Yeah, she's great. She reminds me of the animated series Lois Lane from the cartoon I just talked about beforehand. She's really cool. She's really witty. She's smart. She's talented. She reminds me of Lois Lane. She's who Lois Lane should be. And she's just great. She's great as the role. Also helps that she's like really fucking hot. So, there's that. Other characters, Jimmy, he's pretty funny. He has this weird little relationship with Lex Luthor's girlfriend that he doesn't really like because she's got weird toes apparently. But like he uses her as like an informant, and like she's actually pretty substantial to the plot apparently because she like takes selfies a lot. She's like this classic airhead blonde, but apparently she's been taking selfies all over like Lex's building, and apparently, all the selfies she took was part of, like, Lex's plans. Like, she had, like, Lex's plans in the background somehow. It's just really funny how that worked out. Some people would say that's just, like, plot convenience, and it kind of is. There's a bit of that in this film, but I don't fucking care. It's a comic book movie. Comic books are, like, built on plot conveniences. Let's be real here. If we're gonna be specific, that's how comic books are. So I didn't give a shit about that. But, yeah, Crypto is in this movie, played by, I don't know, some dog. He's pretty funny. I like Crypto a lot. He's actually not as in this movie as many people thought he would be. Like, he'd be, like, all over the film. Like, he'd just be helping Superman every frame of the film. No, he kind of, like, goes away, like, for, like, the second half of the film, when he's stolen by Lex Luthor. And you don't really get to see more of him until, like, near the end. So, that's pretty good. I like that. All the other characters are pretty good. The chick who played Cat Grant is pretty hot, not gonna lie. Apparently she's also playing Tony Chopper for the new Netflix live-action adaptation of, whatchamacallit, fucking One Piece. So that's pretty funny. And yeah, I like everybody in this movie. Back to the plot, after getting his ass handed to him, he goes to work, does this shit. And Lex Luthor is just planning another one of his devious plans. And what he does is that he sends a kaiju to distract Superman while he and his little posse gang go to the Arctic Circle to go to the Fortress of Solitude so they can extract some information on Superman on how to beat him. So, Superman fights off the kaiju, and he gets help from the Justice Gang, and then Lex Luthor kills a bunch of Superman's like Superman robots that are very directly from the Silver Age comics, which I believe is very cool. I like that a lot. And he finds out that Superman's parents are not all that good. Apparently, they sent him to Earth so he could conquer it and have a harem of women that he could, help create a new Krypton with, half-breeds and shit like that. And Lex puts that all over the internet, and everybody's like, damn, who wants to be in Superman's harem? And all the girls, no, I'm just joking, but basically they're all kind of mad because they think that Superman is there so he could just take their woman and, destroy the planet or whatever the fuck. Superman goes back to the Fortress of Solitude to find his robots all destroyed and whatnot, so he's big sad. He also found out that Krypton has been stolen by Lex, and said because of that, he's going to turn himself in so he can have, so he can figure out where Krypto is at, because, Krypto may not be a good dog, but he's alone and he's scared. And, Superman, being a good guy that he is, wants to go and find the dog. Also, he has this really cool conversation with Lois. It's just beautiful. The whole scene is beautiful. Also, there's like this weird dimensional imp in the background that the Justice Gang are fighting, which is pretty funny. But like the actual conversation in that scene is just genuinely really great. They have another like conversation beforehand, before like the whole kaiju thing, and that was also really good. I like that a lot. This whole like argument between the two of these people, and I liked how Superman actually pushed back against Lois when it came to saving people in another country, because a lot of these superhero films, when there's a love interest who's just like really pushy, and then the main character just doesn't push back. He's just like, yeah, you're right, maybe you're right, and no, fucking have some balls, push back. That's your fucking pushback. You have an ideal. You have this idea of what justice is. You have to tell them why you believe what you want to believe. Like, the fuck? Am I the one who thinks that? Like, yeah. Anyways, so he gets captured by the government, and they give him off to Luthor because trying to contain Superman is not exactly an easy thing to do. So obviously they send him to Luthor, and Luthor puts him in a pocket dimension he created by recreating the Big Bang. Yes, all those words was not in the Bible, I know, but apparently that's how he did it. A lot of people were pretty upset at that, and they got even more upset when they found out that Lex Luthor used monkeys to basically make Superman look bad on the internet by basically making outrage forums. I believe that was pretty funny, but a lot of people did not like that because apparently they just don't have joy in their lives or something. They just don't have any like room for creativity or joy or just a whimsy, basically. They're all a bunch of fucking, I don't even know. They're just, they're a bunch of stooges. They're a bunch of fucking Ebenezer Scrooge. You know what I mean? But yeah, he captures Superman. They use this guy called Metamorpho, who apparently can create kryptonite, and they subdue Superman using that. And they bring in this one guy who Superman knows because this guy like gave him falafel or some shit. And they try to use him to basically extract anything from Superman, like who his parents are and whatnot, by playing Russian roulette. It's a pretty fucking insane scene to see because 1 minute it's like cool superhero stuff, the next minute Lex Luthor just fucking killed just a random guy, so because he wants to see Superman suffer, and that was a pretty insane scene. Like that actually got me to jump in my scene. I'm like, damn, that's pretty villainous, and that's why I like this Lex Luthor, because he's actually a fucking villain. This guy is pure fucking evil, and I like that. I'm sick and tired of these like gray villains who are like, oh, you have to understand why they're doing this, why they do the things. Like, no, shut the fuck up. This guy's evil. He wants to do evil things. He has evil plans. His name is fucking Lex Luthor. That's the most evil fucking name I've ever heard in my life. Shut the fuck up about this all gray villains. Oh, he's had a sack bastards. No. He's a bald, rich businessman who wants to kill Superman because he's an alien and has more power than him. That's all I need. And that's what I got. And I like that a lot. But obviously, Superman breaks out with the help of Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane. He helps Metamorpho get back his son. Also, Metamorpho had like a ugly-ass son that he had to save for Metamorpho, which was pretty funny. Cool fight scene. Then they go to Clark's parents' house because he got like super kryptonite poisoning in him. So, they have to heal up for the day. Jimmy finds out about all of Lex's evil's plans, and then the third act comes in. Superman fights and defeats this chick, and this guy, fucking Ultraman, he manages to defeat both of them. He gets the last word on Lex Luthor. Everybody's saved. Good movie. The end. Anyway, as I said, good fucking movie. I liked it a lot. I like the action scenes. The action scenes were really fucking cool. It didn't get into fucking Dragon Ball Z territory like, Man of Steel. But it was still really good. I liked the way it was shot, and I liked how it, just all looked. The third act was just really good. I like seeing Superman save people. That was like a big point of this film, just seeing Superman save a squirrel, which was somehow made people mad as well. Like, guys, is there no whimsy in your lives? Do you have no love, no joy, or anything? Do you, like, sit on nails every time you go to take a shit or something? Like, goddamn. Where is the love? Where was the joy? I don't know what people have against this movie. I've seen so many people just want this movie to fail for, like, no reason, saying that this movie was a box office bomb and that there'll be no sequel and the DCU is gonna be fucking failing. It's like, guys, this movie's not a failure. It managed to make 600 million or near that on a 225 million budget. If you like do like the math of it, it's like 2.5 times the budget in order to be like a break-even point. It's like 550 million to break even, and that movie and that managed to break even. So it's a break-even film. It managed to be a minor success. Sure, it's not like $1 billion film, but I don't think they were like going for $1 billion, obviously, especially with the slew of absolute fucking shit that came before Superman, like The Flash and Blue Beetle and fucking Aquaman 2. Like all those films, people did not have any trust in DC at that point. So of course this movie wasn't going to hit $1 billion. The fact that this movie managed to hit so much domestically was a big thing. So obviously they're going to go forward with this new universe because people like it. I've seen it all over social media, all over TikTok, all over Twitter. Like, people saying that nobody cares about this film, they're fucking lying. I'm sorry. And now that it's on VOD and it's soon going to be coming to streaming, it's going to make even more money because people will buy it on VOD just to watch it and just to react to it and shit like that on YouTube. And even more people are going to go on HBO Max and watch it. That's what happened when this movie came out. Tons of people went on HBO Max and watched Man of Steel and Superman 1978. Like, this movie is very popular. The fact that people cannot see this is absolutely fucking insane. This movie made more money domestically than it did internationally, which is a big deal because most of these types of films make most of the money internationally, and obviously not a lot of people internationally want to watch superhero films anymore because they've just been not very good, unfortunately. But this movie made $300 million. That is like the most that a Superman movie has ever made domestically, showing that Americans, at the very least, love this film. So people saying that this film was a fucking disaster, that it didn't make any money, that it was that it was sucks, that, you know, they should bring back Zack Snyder. I'm sorry, they're either fucking lying or being intellectually dishonest or just fucking retarded at that point. I don't fucking know. Choose which is which, because I don't fucking know, because these people were just absolutely fucking insane. This movie was peak. This movie was absolute peak. It was fucking baller. And I will stand by that position all the time. But anyway, other than that film, I also watched Fantastic Four: First Steps. And this movie's pretty good. I liked it a lot. It's better than the last couple of Fantastic Four movies. That's not really saying much because there's never been a good Fantastic Four movie, but, you know, at least this one was the good one. It took 4 tries because there was one in like the 90s and that never got released for some reason. So, you know, 4th time was apparently the charm, at least critically. Financially, this movie is definitely a disappointment, like most of the MCU films coming out, which is sad because this movie and Thunderbolts were actually pretty good films. I like the Fantastic Four: First Steps a lot, actually. I love the retro futuristic design of it. I like the actors playing of it. I don't know why people have like this giant hate boner for Pedro Pascal now. Like, it's just, it feels like the most, you know, forced hatred of an actor ever, because apparently he's in a lot of stuff now. Like, yeah, that's just what happens. 80s, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a lot of stuff. So was Sylvester Stallone. In the 2000s, it was like 2000s era fucking actors who were like in a lot of shit. That's just what happens when, you know, people see an actor. He's in a lot of stuff because he's popular with studios. He's easy to work with. You know, all the other shit. Does he do weird stuff with his co-actors? I mean, yeah, I guess. But, like, I don't give a shit. And obviously his co-workers don't give a shit either. So why should we? Like, genuinely, all this obsessing over this one fucking guy is absolutely fucking insane, and I just genuinely don't get it. Maybe because I don't care about, like, celebrities, so I genuinely could not give a shit about his, like, personal life or whatever. But personally, I just think this is so terminally online. But back to the movie, I think everybody did a pretty good performance. I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, so I've never, like, read any of the comics. I'm more of, like, a street-level type of guy. Like, the whole science-y, like, adventure-y stuff that the Fantastic Four stuff has never really been a big thing for me, personally, unless they're, like, in a Spider-Man comic. But I think this went pretty well as someone who isn't a Fantastic Four fan. So I liked it a lot. I'm not going to go as deep into it as I did with the Superman film. I'm just going to say, like, I like that the villain was a Galactus, and I like that the Galactus was actually comic accurate and not just one giant fart cloud in space like there was in, like, the 2007 film. I really, really liked Silver Surfer. I do kind of wish it was Norman Rad, but Shia Ball would be fine too. She's kind of fine, not gonna lie. I would hit that, just like Johnny Storm was trying to do in that entire film. I like that this entire film just kind of felt like a giant family movie. Like, this really brought home like the family aspect of this film, and I liked that a lot. I thought the visuals were all really good, which is pretty big considering that Marvel is pretty known for having really bad visuals in some parts of the film. So, considering that it was all pretty consistently good visually, is a pretty good thing. The only thing I would like to say is that Johnny Storm's fire kind of looks a bit fake at times. Especially when they're only using like half of it on his face or whatever. It just looks very weird, especially in comparison to like the 2014 film, which I felt like did better visual effects when it came to the fire. But other than that, the rest was pretty good, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, don't have much to say on the Fantastic Four film, unfortunately, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I'll probably watch it again on streaming, or maybe if I have enough money to find it and watch it again in the theaters. But yeah, that's about it. But big news for me though, I'm going back to college, and that means I'll have a bit more time to actually do more videos, because beforehand I was just at work pretty much every single day, and I didn't have any of the energy to make more videos. But now I do, and now I'm going to make a lot more videos. I'm going to start trying to make videos weekly, back to when I used to do it before I went into the Army. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great to go back to weekly videos again. I have a lot of ideas. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, just want to joke about and shit like that. Hopefully, I could get this green screen shit to work again, so we can use that again. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I hope you guys love this new era of me, which is really just the old era, but slightly nicer looking. And it's gonna be a fun time. So just put down in the comments what else you want me to talk about, and I'll probably do it. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you next time. Go fuck yourself.